Well, welcome back to Developing You, where it's all about real people with real questions, real answers, and hopefully some real solutions, things you can apply to your life today. If you haven't already, consider subscribing because there's going to be lots more information to come. And also always check down below to make sure that there's no offers or no further details relating to this question. So that's basically it. Let's get started. What have we got today? Now this question here, the initial question was this: how do I make a decision about what I want to do when I have no particular pull in any direction, not sure how to move forward and decide which path to go down for work and career? Now I actually went back to this person because I wanted a little bit more information. I could answer it just as it was, but I felt that it would support them better if I had a little bit more information. And what it gave me was a better understanding of, the situation this person's in. I asked them about whether they needed money for work or whether it was more about life purpose, just to give me some understanding. And I found out, obviously that their circumstances really does affect the question in a slightly different way. So this person feels that they need to prepare themselves for when their children have grown up and move away. They have a husband, so they're not a single parent, not that matters, and I guess they're concerned they're going to be left without purpose. They feel they should seek employment to ease the burden of their husband, who's pretty much supported them in raising the children, which he is very happy to do, because he was aware that the job that she did before she had the children didn't make her happy. So during her career, when she started her career, she had both her children, and after the second child, she didn't return back to work. She understands, and she actually says she needs a sense of self that she believes she's never really found. Although she embraced parenthood, it hasn't fully completed her. And I had to say, this is quite common. I myself had my children. I'd started working, I was a teacher, and I was pregnant with my first child, and it was very hard to go back to work, which I did. And then when my second child came along, I did go back to work. It was very tricky, I didn't want to be working full time when I had children. So, that's fairly obvious, that happens. But also what can happen is that women lose a sense of who they are themselves. They go into being mothers and they sort of lose their sense of identity. Now, if the job they had before they had children didn't sustain them, they didn't feel passionate about it and excited about it, it's possible that then what they did was they threw themselves into parenthood and it became everything, all encompassing. And then within that, they got lost, if you like. There's no sense of a life they had before, a working life before, that they want to return to. This is really about a sense of who they are now and preparing themselves to what's going to come. Now, I'm not sure of the age of the children, so I'll answer the question as best I can. They also suggest that perhaps if they had some money, it would give them a sense of self-worth. There is this feeling that if we go to work, that will solve a lot of our perceived problems. It's not necessarily the case, but it definitely is a direction that a lot of people take. But what work are you going to do if you don't know what direction you want to go in? So let's come back to this person and today. They are somebody who is doing a great job being a parent. They're being a mum to their children, they're being a wife to their husband, and they've got various other roles in their life. But it sounds very much that it's time for them. Within this, it's important that they spend some time with themselves to understand who they are, to actually get to know themselves a bit better, to then be able to have a sense of what direction they want to go in. There's time. That's the important thing to remember. This is not a race. They don't have to go and force themselves to get a job. They have to allow it to evolve while they're still supporting their children. Because I have two girls, one's 21 and one's 18 now, and you're still their mum. Even though they stand as women on their own 2 feet, you're still their mum. So you're still going to have that role in their life. But let's now have a little look about this sense of direction. Now, until you have a sense of yourself, you're not going to know which direction you want to go in, okay? Also, it's important to understand that right now, you don't feel ready because you have no idea what direction. You might even have lots of limiting beliefs about, I can't do that because of this, and I can't do that because of that. Forget all those things. If you were ready, if you had the right support to take action step by step, if money and time were no option, you didn't have to worry about any of that, and responsibilities didn't matter either, it's what you would do then. You need to imagine what it'd be like if none of those other experiences around it existed. What would you do for yourself if you could do anything? Take money out of the equation, take time, take responsibility for others, and just sit with yourself for a moment and relax. What would you do if you could do anything? And if you were already ready to take action? Because there might be something in your mind, you're thinking, I'd really love to do that. I always loved that, but I can't do that now because, I'm too old, or I'd have to study again, or whatever the reasonings would be. Forget all those reasons. Imagine I had a magic wand and I could wave that magic wand and you could be ready for the thing that you want to do. So don't force yourself. And really what's important is look at who you are today and give yourself a little pat on the back for actually raising your children, being there for other people, being a loving person and caring. Yes, we all have our off days, but you have spent time preparing children to be adults, and you're still doing that. You are raising children to become amazing people, and in that process you can actually use some of the things with them on yourself. You can actually make sure that you're being authentic when you are supporting them in their happiness and in their growth and in their education, and then consider yourself. There's this analogy of when you're in an aeroplane, they say to you that if we have a crash and then you have the oxygen mask come down, make sure, if you're a parent, that you put it on yourself first and then your children. Because if you do it the other way around and pass out, you're never going to be there for your children. It's important you take care of yourself first. So I would say take out the rush, okay, and just give yourself the space to notice, what do I enjoy? Okay, you need to sort of almost keep yourself a little journal. And don't beat yourself up. Just say, I am going to allow myself to know what direction I'd like to go in next. Don't try and think of it as a distance vision in the past. Just think, what would I like to do now? Is there an activity that I would like to take up? Something that I'd like to do for myself? And scan your memory. Is there anything I enjoyed that I'd like to do now? Or is there something new that I would like to do now? And when you find whatever that activity is, make sure you make a commitment to yourself that this is an important part of that growth. It's not trying to get the job or the career, it's just starting to notice what you enjoy, what makes you happy for you, not for other people, but for yourself. I hope that answers your question. And if you want more than I've already given you, then please come back to me and I will endeavour to open the question up a bit further. But as I said to you, my first step, if I were you, would be to have a journal, spend a little bit of time every day with you, my journal, and what I'm going to do for me. And then I would just write down in that journal, focus on the things you enjoy. Even if that's making a meal, I enjoyed it. Why did I enjoy it? What was it about it that I enjoyed? Or maybe it was I watched a program. What did I enjoy about that? How did I feel? You're really looking to activate what is good and feels great in you, and notice. And then maybe over the course of a month or two, then come back to that journal and read through it and notice what feels good. and notice if there's any activities that come from it that you'd like to take up. I hope that's enough for you today and helps you and other people out there. Remember to keep those questions coming because they really help me and they help everybody else. And if you want to, please make a comment below and check out any of the other information that I've left there for you. Thank you again. Really, developing you is nothing without your questions. I really value it. I look forward to seeing you really soon. Bye-bye for now.